All right, part two. Your boy Rick Dillinger. Yep.
Oh, Nick.
Yep. Nick Dillinger. These old eyes. He's like, it's a party now. You
Yeah.
know? Classic. Classic.
Oh my God. I don't see you.
Okay. Hold on. Good catch. There we go. All right, man. First time
Okay.
for everything. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Part two. So back to Wild Style or Beach Street and why.
Beat Street only because like it was all of the things without being like, hey, look, it's all the things. We got a graffiti guy, we got a MC guy, and then then there's the DJ, and then there's the break dancer guy. Like, it was just that so natural the way the characters melded together. And then the story, it's just like, damn, like it had everything. That's an underrated movie, period. Not even saying it's a hip hop movie, it's an underrated movie.
But you know what you real quick, man, we gonna shout out Ben Franklin. Ben Frank is a trooper, man. He been with us since we've been on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's up in the chat. Yeah, he definitely been yep, he's definitely been
It's day one.
team motivation with the whole situation. But the thing that you can't forget when you think about Beach Street is that it was a well-produced movie because of shoot, man, I can't remember the guy who passed away, but there was a big the guy who produced it was like a huge actor and everything, and he just kind
Oh,
of
okay.
yeah, that was just kind of like him giving. Damn, what was his name? He played Biggie Smalls in Uptown Saturday Night, I think. But anyway,
Okay.
neither here nor there. But
Okay.
Beach Street was a major production. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah. And you
saying?
could
And
tell,
while
like, because no shade to like any of the other one, like Break In
no,
or whatever, but you could tell, like when they shot the way they shot the battle scene.
mm-hmm.
I wore out that section of the tape. Like, it's just like, what, like the angles were the right angles, that you knew what was going on, even if you didn't understand, even if that was the first you know b-boy battle you've ever seen, you could tell what's going on.
Yeah, yeah, and for me, um, Beach Street was the evolution. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Wild Style was like the first,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
the forerunner. And it's interesting because I had a chance to work with Whipper Whip and meet him,
Oh,
and
wow.
like people were just hella jocking him, and I didn't understand. Like this had to be like 97, 98. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
wow.
this was like after Wild Style or whatever. I hadn't
Mm.
seen the movie, and I didn't understand while people were I didn't understand who he was.
Right.
That's the best way to say that. But
Yeah.
then after watching the movie, I was kind of like, oh shoot, that's man, he was one of the one of the forefathers in it.
Yeah. A lot of those guys, they they kind of got skipped over in a lot of ways, just in terms of, like, you know as the next generation came in, it was just like, a lot of them didn't get their props, I think.
I saw an interesting clip um on IG last week, and I was kind of like, man, uh Miles Davis, and he was talking. Someone was asking him about jazz,
Okay.
and he was like, what I do is called jazz, and there's some other guys out there doing some kind of stuff. And he said, Herbie Hancock is out there and he's doing something with it. And he's referring to Rocket. I can't
Right.
remember what he said, but he was just
Oh.
he was he dissed it. And
Oh.
I was just kind of like, damn. And in one way, I was just kind of like, was he being like an old fogey? And then the other flip of it was, man, you're talking about, someone who's a jazz purist. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So like anything, like man, it could be a saxophone player playing and had a read that Miles Davis
Yeah,
went down with the way that it sounded or
yeah,
something like that, and he'd be like, "Oh no,"
100%.
you know what
And
I'm saying?
we have those purists in hip hop. It's like that, you know.
Hey man, matter of factly, and with that being said, man, I'll say that I've just learned to not speak my opinion as much and just kind of sit back and watch because you could feel one way and then something could happen to just totally teach you to a whole nother level. Like I can be
Mhm.
honest, like when we had this wave of new rappers coming in with the Kendricks, the A$AP Rockies, the all those, I didn't get Kendrick at first.
Mm.
I didn't get him at
Huh.
first.
You
Mm-mm.
didn't get it. You didn't do. I mean, like, is it that you didn't get why he was so popular or why people liked him so much? Or you're just like,
I
I don't even know why
no.
he's.
So there's this theory that I have about Dr. Dre.
Okay.
But it's what he does. It's not, you know what? It's not a theory, it's fact. He takes battle rappers and he teaches them how to make songs.
Hmm.
And that's the genius of what he does. And with the combination of a battle rapper making a song, people just gravitate towards it. Like they
Hmm.
really and my references would be Eminem, 50 Cent, and Kendrick.
Hmm. Yeah.
Guys that you wouldn't necessarily like if you didn't have Dre's production behind them, it would just be somebody else rapping. You
It's
know what
raw,
I'm
but it's
saying?
raw talent. Like it's
Yeah.
just yeah.
But you throw song structure, dope production, dope mixing, mastering, all those things behind it. Dr. Dre takes battle rappers and makes hit songs
Yeah.
that are popular. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody can embrace them. Everybody can embrace them. And and on that note, I'm gonna ask you. I know you kind of outside the box, but you pay attention. You look, you watch what's going on online.
Oh.
This Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Now, my opinion of it was every song Kendrick did was cool and it just got doper and doper and doper. Then it might have kind of flatlined out, but it didn't dive down. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of like flatlined out and then it got dope. You know what I'm saying? Like it like kept
What
moving.
part flatlined to you?
Uh,
Seemed kind of pretty relentless to me.
BBL Drizzy.
I mean,
I mean, it wasn't.
yeah, okay, yeah, yeah.
Now Jeremy, he said something that I thought was interesting. And he said, you can't, well, at the end, he said Kendrick won, but he said, you really can't declare Kendrick the winner because as talented as Kendrick is, Drake should have never been able to get up off the ground after getting hit. Like
Oh, that's a
it
good
should have,
point.
it should have just been a headshot. He was like, man, it should have just been a wrap. It should have just
That's a
been
good
nothing.
point.
But then I'm like, but it has to be entertaining. I mean,
Yeah.
put it this way. I look at it like Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Hmm.
Now, we
That
all
hasn't even
know,
happened yet.
we all know, we all know, even Tyson at where he's at in life right now,
He's sick. Is he sick? He's 60, right?
dude,
Yeah.
I just know he's older. And if he hits Jake Paul in the chest, dude, at real, at no holding back, no entertaining,
Yeah.
he hits him in the chest to hit him in the chest. That's a wrap, dude. That's a wrap. what I used to love about Tyson boxing was that dude, when that bell would go off, dude,
Oh yeah,
he would just go and destroy somebody.
yeah.
So back to the Kendrick and Drake.
Okay.
Your thoughts on it?
Uh, to me, Kendrick won pretty. I mean, no question to me. Like I was one of the people that when he was releasing song after song, I was like, dude, what are you doing? It's over. Stop. Stop. Meet the gram. You don't have to. Dude, stop talking to his family. Um, but I mean, we are on the West Coast, and if you listen to the radio, they're playing "Not Like Us." Um, but I still think outside of listening to the radio, I don't know. I don't see. You're right. I think it's entertaining, and yes, Drake to be able to even make it a multiple round thing, great. But I mean, I don't know. Like Drake makes good songs,
Your boy
but
Nick, your boy
but if
Nick
you
is funny. But go ahead.
it's like exactly he's already just stop. But that to me was like incredible that he just went he didn't even wait. He just kept going.
I don't even think he went as hard as he could go. I think it
Mm,
just I think in the next 5 years, might be a little longer, we're gonna hear the songs that didn't come out, dude.
oof. There's a bunch. There's got to be a bunch.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Matter of factly.
What was yeah? I mean, what was Drake's last? Did he didn't respond after that?
I don't know, man. I know that it did a lot for both their careers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that there was more planning and marketing to it than we know. I,
Mm,
I, I don't think it's something that just happened. I think it was a marketing and social experiment going on because,
yeah,
dude, they talked about it on CNN.
yeah, that was
Like
big.
everybody. I didn't ask my dad about it. He's in his early 80s, but I'm
Yeah.
sure I'm sure that they might have had a conversation where he goes to have a drink where he goes to have a drink with his homeboys. It's dude, I've got clients that let's just say I've got I got one client that jumped on the train of something that came from that beef, and he's been capitalizing hell of a man. It's almost
Oh,
amazing to me how he jumped on it and he called it, and what I'm doing for him has just been cracking.
oh
And
wow.
yeah, and I'm just kind of like,
Okay,
dang. But
that's how powerful they are. Their beef is an industry in itself.
hey, hey.
That's insane.
So
That's
on to
insane.
the next,
Drake is
man.
funny. I would say Drake is funny. He's good at like funny stuff, but Kendrick is like his. It's just like the Grim Reaper.
You know, uh, I can honestly say that with Drake, if you said I'd give you $1 million to name two of his songs, I could only name one.
What?
Yeah,
No, dude.
yeah,
No.
yeah.
What's the one song? What?
Hotline Bling.
Well, how about Truffle Butter?
I've
You
never
know
heard,
Truffle Butter. You know it.
never
You
heard.
know it. They sampled a house beat. You know it. This with Nicki Minaj. Ding 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 ding. You definitely know it. You heard it.
I was so not interested. The levels of hate was pumping through my veins so tough that I could honestly say,
It just
yeah, yeah, I could say that
wow.
matter of factly.
Okay, I'm impressed.
Oh yeah, man.
Because Drake, well, you saw Yassine Bey talking about Drake. It's like you just hear it. You see what he said
Yeah, yeah.
about? It's just yeah. When you're at Target, you hear it. Like
But see, I didn't even put that much thought into it. It's just like when I hear his voice, it just automatically just
just because.
like my mind just automatically goes to a safe place that protects me. It automatically goes to a safe place. Yeah, I can honestly say, I have never played one song on my stuff on my,
Right.
yeah, no, not one,
But
not
with
one.
Drake, you don't have to because everyone else plays it.
Yeah,
It's everywhere.
I've never gone online to see a video. I've never, not one, not one. Just,
Wow.
just don't. But I'll tell you this, with Kendrick, the sad thing about it, what made me a fan of Kendrick was the record he made for people. He made it in my heart. I believe he made To Pimp a Butterfly for the older people, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I
That's why
think
we
he
like it so
made
much.
it. And
Yeah.
and when I heard that album with the George Clinton and
Yep.
just all that stuff, and I just kind of like that made me just like listen to him a totally different.
Hmm.
My ears were listening to something a totally different way. And it got me to the point where I could appreciate the other part. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. He
The
has
other
hits
part.
though. He has. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. Now I should talk. Yeah. It's yeah. It's a
So
good battle.
when was the first time you married hip hop with technology?
Does turntables count? That was 93.
Let's say further technology than
Digital
turntable.
technology.
Yes.
Probably when I do samplers count or no? That's kind of the same thing. That's
Yeah.
digital. Yeah,
Yeah.
like 98.
Okay.
Yeah, 98.
So like
Um,
MPC or what kind
MPC. Well, I first got the ASR 10,
of,
then
okay.
I got the MPC, and the MPC that just sort of like made more sense to me, like just in terms of just like my workflow worked better.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, MPC, and then I started, I used like Pro Tools later, and then Ableton. Ableton's been pretty much ever since like maybe 2000, 2005, 2004 maybe I started messing with it.
So one of the things I can say that I've seen that was technology and hip hop being married together during the making of Lab Cabin California.
Mm,
I remember watching JD at the time
damn.
sample the Fender Rhodes and play it on the pads of the MPC. And I remember being enamored.
Wow.
I remember being enamored by watching him do that. Like, I
What song
remember
was
that
it? Do you remember?
it was just a studio session. Yeah, it was
Oh,
just
wow.
because he came out, he stayed for a minute. He was out here for
Yeah.
months. You know what I'm saying? So it was at Hollywood Sound. I know that.
Damn.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, it was at Hollywood Sound, and I can't remember what it was, but I remember him doing that, and I was kind of like, yeah, that was because I remember with the ASR, um, Brown would sample on the ASR, and like I didn't know anything about technology, but I knew that you could sample something on the ASR, and you could do something with pitch or something where you could sample something and you could have the feel of the sample, but it wouldn't necessarily sound like this. I just remember that from a,
Mm.
and I'm
Or
totally,
you could lay it out across the keys.
yeah, well, I'm
Yeah.
totally the most non-technological person that you probably ever met.
Right.
But this is just my non-technological self
Yeah.
in the studio watching people do,
Yeah.
do what they do. But okay, so
Damn,
we
you watched Dilla do that? I mean, man,
yeah,
that's
that
incredible.
and you know what? Play the drums too. Play the drums too. I remember,
Wow.
so I said, hey man. Now this was JD. This was
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
Dilla. This was this had to be 95, 96, 95, ninety
Wow.
six, maybe 94, but I know for sure between 94 and 96. But I'll say between 94 and 95. And I remember saying to him, hey man, uh next time you come to LA, I want to book a club, man. I want to pay you to play the drums. But it does make me feel good to understand I was on to something. What I was
Yeah.
hearing in that
Yes.
studio space that other people weren't privy to at the time, that I wasn't just being a fan. I was
Yeah,
like
you
really
saw it.
witness. Yeah, I was witnessing somebody really do something that was uh evolutionary to the whole, to hip hop.
But imagine if you did book that gig and you had footage of him playing dude.
No one would have come. He was nobody then. He
But
was
that's
absolute
the best
after
part.
the fact. Yeah, after the fact, it would have
That's
been a
the
big
best
deal.
part is that you get like the five people that were there, like, dude, I was at the only gig that Dilla just played the drums at. It was me, Smooch. Yeah, it just that would have been monumental.
No one came. Yeah, no
That's
one would have come. That's
that's
matter of
fine.
factly. That's matter of factly.
That's
Like
the best part is no one would have been there.
there were
And then
so
everyone's gonna be
many
like, oh man, the ghost gig.
there were so many people in LA that did not feel his production at the time that he
Yeah,
was making that album, dude.
yeah,
And I won't put people out there right now, but it's crazy because I look
right.
back and I see how people celebrate him and they raise him up and everything. I mean, I
Yeah.
always thought he was pretty cool. Brown fought for it. Like Brown had to argue with the label, argue with all kinds of people. Like,
Wow.
no, this is who we need. Woo, 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 woo. I knew what it was, but dude, there were so many people that did not get it. They did not get it. And I look back now and I'm just kind of like,
Did they not get it before or after Lab Cabin came out?
before and during.
Oh, yeah.
After it came out, then people kind of came around, but I remember people adamantly just not with it,
Wow.
just not with it.
Dude, because I mean, hindsight's 2020, but like, but you know what? To me, the story of the pushback of Lab Cabin feels like the stories of the pushback on like Paul's Boutique.
What happened with Paul's Boutique? I know it's a whole bunch of samples.
Did you watch the documentary, the Beast
Mm-mm.
Boys the Beast Boys? So like they same thing. They fought for it. No one wanted it. It actually was their worst selling album at the time. You know what I mean? Like it didn't do well. It was like really not what what you expect because they're coming off of like Beastie Boys, you know what I mean? Like fight for your right to party but they were like, no, this is what we want to do, and then that ends up being like a seminal record for not just them,
Yeah.
like the Dust Brothers and everything, and then very very similar. The way, yeah, I mean, I won't spoil the documentary, but like that section is very close to what you're talking about right now.
Yeah, I'll
Very
say that
close.
Paul's Boutique made it to me. The Beastie Boys married samples and live instruments on stage
Hmm.
for us all to watch. Like I feel like that was the thing that was going that people probably weren't understanding at the time what was really going on right now. But they were
Yeah.
like, dude, they had the congas, they had the, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
Yeah. Well,
lit,
because
lit,
they were a band before,
yeah, yeah.
so they yeah, it makes sense.
And it's interesting because I listened to the music and then I saw the Cypress Hill
Mm,
documentary, and that's why
yeah.
Bobo
Bobo.
ever he evolved from the
Yeah.
Beastie Boys to Cypress Hill, and that's that you
Yeah.
know that conga thing. Though, so we said all that to get to while we're here. Stack Machine. Um, when you hear Booty Brown and Ink Pope, what are the first things that come to mind?
Now it's Stack Machine, but like before, it's just like just dope artists.
Now,
That's yeah.
and so how did this come about? What was the whole
Well, touring with you guys, I was always talking to Brown about doing stuff, you know, always sending beats his way and everything, and but we were busy, and then it's like, finally 2020 hits, and then it's like, all right, I guess we could finish this album. Um, but really, it was like he had the idea of calling Sean Ink Pulp, Sean Crystal, because he was like, "Yo, this is the guy that did the Guardians of the Galaxy cover, the Bizarre Ride, the Marvel hip hop covers."
mm-hmm.
So I was like, "Oh, he might be interested in this," and he was super interested in it, and we got along really well. And he's ahead, like he knows what's up, and he's hella dope. And I feel like that first song, especially, Welcome to Nowhere, that we did with Dell, like that, like Sean's style is perfect. I mean, that like it just turning us into characters like that to me. Like, I think every hip hop artist, or talking about every hip hop musician, wants to be a comic character or grew up on comics, and we all want to be. We're all kind of guided by that as a visual. You know what I mean? I mean, there's tons of albums. The Liquid Swords or whatever is like heavily influenced by comic art. Um, and so this was like a chance to make it like not just, oh hey man, can you do our cover? Like, hey man, could you just be a part of this and like bring it to life visually? Because it you seem to get it, and he brought it, man. Like he's already dope. But what he did for the Stack Machine is just like that's like perfect. Like
you
just
know,
talking to him about what I think he might have started it before he heard the music, and he was just sketching stuff. And then I think when we sent him the full song, it was just like, oh, all right, here's your character. You're wearing a suit, and there's a dope ass helmet. Then you got the turntable and all that, and then Brown's got this like post apocalyptic, like looks like he's coming out of Mad Max, and he's got sick ass, uh, synth. It's just like, and then Dell's whole thing with it's a mech suit with the ghost cat. Oh, I was like, come on, man,
you
it's too
know,
much.
the interesting thing to me is that we'll start with Sean. Um, I was just kind of blown away because I'm the least knowledgeable comic book dude in the world of just that whole world of things. And I was like, damn, he draws for Marvel and DC and then
Mm-hmm.
does others. And he's that talented where in my mind, like not being part of the comic book world, not really knowing anything about that kind of stuff, I kind of just figured like, well, okay, if you draw Marvel stuff, then that's what you do, or if you draw DC stuff, like
Mm.
that's what you do. But like he did both, and then I want to say I can't remember. I interviewed him and I can't remember if it was when you guys just kind of started doing your thing or well it was during COVID. It was like the
Mm.
beginning of COVID because I remember I had him help me interview Paz from De La Soul.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, yeah.
And it was just interesting because it's like he was so knowledgeable about hip hop.
Hmm.
Like his
Yeah.
knowledge of hip hop and the kind of stuff that you did, like you, and not to judge somebody or just who would ever, but I could say that I won't say he's more passionate about hip hop than me, but the knowledge that he knew
Hmm.
of groups and music was just very surprising to me that he knew that, and I think that that comes across in his art. When
Yeah.
he's doing his thing with you guys, and then with
It's raw. It's dynamic. Like all his like the poses. It's just like I don't. It's perfect. Like I I said it before, but I'm just like yeah, like dude, I am really spoiled with who's around me on this. I'm
yeah,
really spoiled. Look at that shit. That's insane.
yeah, and and it's interesting because Brown was kind of like, but he did the art direction himself for that, but for his Bird Talk project,
Hmm.
it was kind of like post apoc. No, that wasn't post apocalyptic. That was just kind of like, but I guess it could
It
kind of
looked. It was adventurous. It looked adventurous.
yeah. It had it had something going on that was
Yeah.
you know uh I think of when I look at Brown's Bird Talk cover, I think of the book of Eli,
Mm, yeah.
that kind of that
Yeah.
kind of thing going on. So um with all that being said, tell us about Stack Machine. What's going on? What's the next song that's going to come out? What can we look forward to hearing?
June 3rd. Is that next week? Yeah, next week. June 3rd. Shit Luck is the new single coming out. That one's me and Brown. Sean did the art, obviously, and that one. Um, I've heard Brown a lot on stuff. I'm a fan. This one, oof, I can't wait. There's just something. There's something. He brought something to this one that like I hadn't heard. You know, there's something about this one. There's like there's an energy and it really like because that's what I really wanted from the song. That's kind of how I kind of made the beat. But then what he did on top of it was like, oh, okay, this is a whole other thing now. Like, I had to add more. Like he was when he sent the vocals, I was like, oh, okay, now let me tweak this a little bit more because this I gotta raise it up to that level. Um, it's yeah, it's a banger. I can honestly say it's a banger.
All
I
right.
don't say that about my own stuff. Hey, the other one was a banger too.
Hey, they might just be bangers, man. That might
Yeah,
be. Hey,
that's just what we do over there. You know,
yeah, I can get that. Hidden talent. What would you say your hidden talent is?
you mean like people that can just like juggle and doesn't tell anybody or like
Yeah.
uh I could solve a Rubik's cube but not like the fast way. I can't do it like blah, blah, blah. I could do it. It takes a couple minutes, but I can consistently solve a Rubik's cube. I don't
So
really do
I have a
that.
so I
That's
have a
all good.
confession.
What?
I have taken stickers off before, which
You've taken what?
taken stickers off before, which definitely took longer than it probably
It
would to figure out.
don't. And it's all fucked up after.
Of course,
So,
of course, destroyed. Yeah, that wasn't the
man.
way.
No, no. I think that's that. But that's what we all do after when we're kids. Just like, ah, shit. How do I, you know? What's your hidden talent?
My hidden talent. You know what? I can make peach cobbler crust in 5 minutes without any measured measurements and just knowing the ingredients.
Whoa,
And that's my superpower.
that's a good one.
Matter of factly, 100%. Not like
Wow.
I'd stand on it. If I had to bet somebody something to make me some money right now, right now, right now, I would tell them the three ingredients that I use, four ingredients, four ingredients. I tell them the four
Huh.
ingredients that I use, wouldn't tell them what I'm going to do, and say, I bet you I could do something dope in 5 minutes.
Wow.
And it would be, yeah, that's
The
what I can
peach
do.
cobbler crust.
Yeah. So
Now, could that be any pie crust? Like, could you use that as like
yeah.
cheesecake crust or
No. Cobbler crust is different.
okay,
It's different than pie crust. It's different than pie.
okay.
It's different. It has more
Huh.
it has more of one
You're gonna
ingredient.
say it.
It has more of one ingredient. Yeah, it has more than one ingredient. Oh, and then I would say my second hidden talent is I know how to make some pretty dope signature wings where I
Huh.
take stuff like sriracha, ponzu,
Oh,
and a
ponzu.
little pinch of jerk. And
Whoa.
but you know what I did? We gonna move on from food because I'll talk about food for 3 hours.
Yeah.
But
Us
I'll tell
will
you,
that'll be a whole podcast.
but I'll tell you what I did with the leftover, um, with what I had left over from making a cobbler about a month ago. I made some peach cobbler preserves, and I freaking took my immersion, my hand blender,
Hmm.
and I just blended everything just like hell of a whatever. And I took some sriracha and some jerk, and I made
Whoa.
some pretty dope wings.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Huh. I have to try that.
yeah. That's my thing. Yeah, that's my thing. You know the interesting thing about it, um, I was on the fence, and this may sound kind of haterish, but I thought that soul food, I felt that there was no wings that can compare to soul food wings. And I will say, as of recent, Korean fried chicken is a close second, man.
Oh yeah.
Is
Oh
a
yeah.
they when it comes to the flavors of wings, they step into uncharted territory, man.
Mhm. What
Yeah.
flavor was it? A particular flavor wing that you liked, the Korean style?
You know what? I had at the Koreans because there's one right around the corner from the office. That's why.
Hmm.
But they had this one where they had cilantro, garlic,
Mm. Oh yeah, the garlic
white
wings. Yep.
white onions,
Hmm.
and then whatever this reddish paste type of thing, seasoning that they use. They had that in,
Mm,
and then it was sweet. Like I know they didn't put honey in it, but it could have been like a agave syrup or something that they had in it. So it was spicy and very sweet. And I was just like,
yeah,
damn,
yeah,
they knew.
yeah,
They knew.
yeah. Sometimes it's right there, right on the
Dude,
corner.
put it this way. It's gonna be interesting how long it takes the hip hop culture to know to
Mm.
get that they've been missing out on Korean wings. You know what I'm saying? They've been going crazy over Wingstop, these little soul food spots and everything, until they find out, like, man, there's a whole nother level to this wing culture, man.
Yeah, yeah. No, Asian, yeah, Asian and chicken and wing, yeah, yeah. You gotta be the one to do it. You gotta like, you know,
You know,
expose the truth.
I tell you what, it's interesting. When we had this studio that was in Koreatown, and there was a Thai restaurant upstairs, and we were like in the basement of this huge building. Glad we're out of there. If it would have
Mm.
there would have been an earthquake or something, it'd been a wrap.
Oh, like that.
So
Okay.
we were literally at the bottom of the building. But anyway, the
Oh,
owner of this restaurant was a Korean guy. And I remember he was always cool with us. He was like a younger guy or whatever. He was cool with us. And he came down and he was eating with me one day. And he was like, yeah, I like soul food. And I was like, man, you don't like no. Now, this was back in like 2002. And so I was like, man, you don't like no soul food. He's like, nah, man, my wife tells me not to eat that shit, man. He's like, I like greens. And he started breaking it all down. And he said, you probably wouldn't believe this, but Korean people know how to fry chicken. And I laughed at him. Like, I literally, like,
oh,
because, first of all, his restaurant was a Thai food restaurant, but he was
yeah.
just like, Thai food is cheap to make. Like, that was his whole thing. He's like,
Ah, okay.
yeah, he's like, Thai food is cheap to make or whatever. And then they
Interesting.
ended up moving.
Have
So,
you tried have you tried other Korean wings other than the that salty sweet one? Like have you tried like just straight up fried
no,
chicken? Like,
no,
oh, you gotta, dude.
no. I haven't been adventurous with it. I found my first stop. I never want to evolve. I never want to evolve beyond my first stop. But
They don't sell it at that spot. They don't sell like just fried.
oh no, they sell all kinds of, yeah,
You should
they
try. Dude, you gotta try it. It's
do what they have that's good though. They have these fries
mm,
and they put gravy and cheese on them.
yeah, like a poutine.
Yes.
From the way it sounds, I'm I'd be I'm gonna guess that they do fried chicken really good too.
Oh no, they
I'm
sell
gonna
whole
guess.
chickens, half chickens. I just can't get with it because the whole chicken is $30.
But the wing, like just that style, the fried chicken style wings.
Well,
Like they use the
they
MSG and
do
all that stuff.
well, they do chicken and they do wings.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, so they do the whole, so you can get a whole chicken for $30. And that was
Mm.
just, my mind just could not
Yeah,
wrap.
that's a lot. That's too.
That was a lot for my mind to process.
Yeah. I bet their fried wings are really good though.
Yeah,
Like
no,
salt and pepper wings, I guaranteed fire. Guaranteed.
I take your word, man. I'm a creature of habit. I like my you know what I'm saying? So
Nick said KFC so good.
yeah, man. KFC, man. That guy, man. If I could toss KFC at him, man. And
Original recipe.
well, it's so funny because I used to like KFC wings,
Yeah, we all did.
but when I got some maybe about like 2 months ago, and it was like $6 or $7 for these tiny 2 inches best,
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
inches best, and I was just like the the salty and sweet taste of these barbecue wings is pretty dope. But what I'm getting for my money, I was like, you can never do this again. I was like,
Yeah.
let that go. Yeah, I was like, let that go. So with that being said, we're gonna break down to the last couple of few today.
Today, May 28th, 2024.
What would your biopic be called?
Pass me by. Just kidding. Sex packets.
Classic, classic.
I don't know. What my biopic? It'd be called like what am I doing here?
All right.
That's all. What am I doing here? I don't know.
Who
It would be
who
very abstract.
who would play you?
I would have uh, it would be multiple people.
Okay.
It would be multiple, like men, women, like whatever. Anybody who embodies the vibe of why am I here?
Okay. I will say this. I've seen some pretty dope stuff on Netflix in the last couple of years. And I'll say, um, have you seen the Book of Clarence?
No.
A
It's
great watch.
good.
Yeah, a
Okay.
great watch. But I'll tell you this other one, Beef.
I haven't watched Beef.
What?
I haven't watched Beef. I
What?
can't.
Oh man.
There's a
This
lot of things I haven't watched.
this is all I'm gonna say about Beef.
Okay.
Two people that took it to the next level.
Hmm.
They took it to the next level, man.
It
They
looks like a stressful show to watch. This is probably why I didn't.
no, it's not.
Okay.
No, it's not stressful. I'll tell you who's in it, who's good. Homeboy that Joe Rogan used to interview a lot. He's like a artist, painter type of
Joe Rogan's
dude, millionaire. Yeah, he's definitely a millionaire, man. Like, but
millionaire
he's a
painter.
comedian too.
A millionaire comedian painter.
Yeah, yeah, weirdo. Put it this way. He
Oh,
said,
David Cho. David
yes.
Cho. Yeah.
I'm glad you said that because
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I was gonna tell you how wild he is, but if you know who
Oh
he
yeah, no,
is,
he's yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I don't need to
Yeah.
I don't need to take it there.
So it's the millionaire painter comedian. Okay, got it. Yeah, weirdo. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
he's wild. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he used to do these videos for Vice where he'd travel and do all this crazy shit. Like he's been that guy.
yeah,
I love
yeah.
his art though.
I've never peeped it. I tell you this, if you can appreciate him as the person, watching Beef will just take it to a whole nother level, dude. You'll be like,
Okay.
damn, because I didn't see. So who I saw what his accomplishments were after I saw him in the movie,
Hmm.
and not immediately after. So it was like months or maybe a year or so after I saw the character that he played. And then I'm just like, this dude is talented, boy. I'm
Hmm.
like, dang. I'm like, man, he's yeah, no, he's very talented.
Yeah.
So
Seems like one of those guys that puts everything into whatever he's doing.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
just, 100%.
The role he played, yeah, nah, we're not gonna do that. I'll talk about that forever too. So where can people find shit luck? And when can they find shit luck?
June 3rd, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, all that stuff. If you go to the Stack Machine Instagram, which is at the Stack Machine, there's a pre-save link there. So if it's not out yet, it goes, oh, okay, Spotify, when it comes out, it'll show up in your likes or whatever, or your playlist or whatever it is.
Okay.
So you can pre-save it, which I thought was really cool. But yeah, June 3rd, it's going to be we'll be shouting it out and posting about it constantly, so everyone will get to hear it. And then the visual, I have a visual art video that I'll put on my YouTube channel,
Okay.
which is youtube.com/at Relm, RELM.
All right.
I'm
All right.
excited.
That's dope. That's dope. Well, nah, man, we'll have to, it's so funny. It seems like I've had you on more recent than I've had you on, but nah, man, we're gonna have to tap back in. You
Yeah,
know what
I
I'm
was on
saying?
recent a few months ago, I think. Where I forgot. Yeah, this was like last year, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. That's when it
Yeah, it was
was.
another. You called me at like 7:30. What are you doing?
Yeah, man. I keep on telling Jeremy, I'm like, dude, you're gonna end up in a writing room. Like that's
Yeah,
what's
Jeremy's talented, man.
have you gone to see him yet?
No. When's he? When are you going to see him in LA soon?
You know what? I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I've the last two times I've seen him, he's been in Long Beach at the Laugh Factory. And
Okay.
it's really nice. And it's only like
Yeah.
10 minutes from my house. So that's
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
my go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah,
Yeah.
man.
He's funny. The stuff I seen online, I'm just like, oh, okay, Jeremy. All right, he's on his way.
Yeah, yeah. And it's interesting because when I see him do his thing, the other comedians are all like they see the genius that I see. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Yeah, no, that like man, all the way up to the big ones, man. The big ones.
Okay.
It's like, I'm like, all right, yeah. Well, once again, I feel
Mm.
like I'm close to something, and I'm not looking at, and then I see other people, and they're just like, oh. But I mean, I always thought Jeremy was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
the funny thing about it, before I heard him tell a joke, I knew he was funny. Like I just did,
Huh.
because he was hanging. You know what? He was hanging out with Ron, and they came by the studio, and we were talking, and I just kind of felt like, man,
Mm.
if Ron was, and that's so it could have not meant anything. But I was like, dude, if Ron is hanging out with this dude, then he's,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he will, in his own right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. He's a funny dude.
Yeah. And so where can they find your socials?
Instagram. I'm Mike Realm on everything.
Okay.
Mostly active on YouTube. Well, YouTube I'm at Realm, but
Okay.
Instagram I'm Mike Realm.
All right. Cool.
Yep.
Well, nah, man. We look forward to seeing the progressions of Stack Machine or the Stack Machine.
It's the officially, but we call it Stack Machine too.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, nah, man. Thank you for tapping in.
Right on. Thanks, Greg.
Cool conversation, some cool technical difficulties and glitches that have never happened before, but we can live with that.
But also, you said I'm not the most technical person. Like, yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah,
because we got
that's
kicked off.
matter of factly.
Yep. Proof.
All right, so this has been another episode of Splendid Radio on Pharcyde TV. Peace.
Right on, Greg.
All right, late.